Gold membership. Oh, good for you. Make sure those gold members are there. He did. Yes, I know. I'm ZeeZ. Woo! John, pick up your
Yeah.
Whenever you want to go.
Oh, for all the trophies, we have the paper still. You can wrap it in. Who made it, brother? They were
Oh, Gordon, Jack.
So the question.
And, okay.
And Bob Coleman and Ted Overhouse, you just won the National Eastern Flying Disc Championships. What are you guys going to do next?
Spend the money.
You're supposed to say, I'm going to Disneyland.
I always screw
But
up
they're
that
not
question.
sponsoring this
Oh,
event.
that's true.
That's right.
You have another question?
What you have to do, what interesting things to look
I'll talk
for.
about winning. All right. Go. Well, as far as freestyle goes, it's like there's so many great players at this tournament that we knew it was going to be hard to win. But it's great to see people from all over the country come in here. And I'm from Miami, and it's great. I love New York City. It's one of my favorite cities in the world. And I think anybody who comes here and doesn't enjoy the city is a fool. And so I knew I was going to have a great time getting to come to New York City and spend time training and working out for this event. And we knew that we had a high difficulty routine because we do a lot of against the spin stuff where the Frisbee is gyrating against the spin of the procession. And we're better at that than most teams, so we knew that was going to put us above. And so we had to get our catches together, and we knew if we had that, we were going to have a good routine.
Just talk about for the beginner what you're doing out there. People that have never seen Frisbee before, like, you know, what are you doing?
Okay.
Let me handle that one.
All right.
Basically what we do is we choreograph routines to...
Okay.
One more time. Basically what we do is we choreograph routines to music. We had a 4-minute routine here. We had it choreographed to Blues Traveler. Frizz flew in from Florida about 10 days in advance. We spent every afternoon choreographing a co-op at a time. We have co-ops in which we try and put center delay, body rolls, and spins together to come up with something that looks enjoyable. And judging by the crowd, they enjoyed it.
Frisbee tournament in Central Park.
I think it was a fantastic idea. It was nice to have people from all over the country come in here to New York and show their skills. We just participated in one of the best finals I've ever lived through. 5 teams, maybe even all 8, hit routines that were unparalleled in rather difficult conditions. We were just lucky to come out on top.
How often do you practice?
I work here in Manhattan, so I find myself in here quite often. I think 3 times a week is adequate to keep my skills honed to a level that they are. Frizz probably plays every day, I would assume.
I think that with any player, once you get to this caliber of play, is when tournaments are closer, you practice more. So, I mean, now we're at 7 days a week.
Yeah.
So, and we try to knock out 4 to 6 hours a day. And we're even doing those 4 to 6 hours working strictly on the routine.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also things that have to be done when you don't have the disc, because you have to memorize an incredible amount of information to come out and pull off a routine like we did today. So a lot of that has to be done in the mind, and those things can be done over dinner or sitting around and talking about the routines and memorizing the routines. So that's part of it, but the actual playing time, try to knock out 4 hours.
Actually, there was
a day,
an
6
interesting
days a
aside
week.
also. Bob actually pulled his groin muscle 3 days into our practice, so what we had to do was mentally run through the routine, put the disc on the ground, and walk through the entire routine, memorizing every movement, and that, I think, actually helped us remember the entire thing.
Absolutely, it helped us remember, because unfortunately, when you tear a muscle, there's nothing that you can do about it, and there's no miraculous cure that all of a sudden you're not going to feel that.
Except for the hot tub in my backyard. It helped.
So where do you guys find time to work?
Well,
He works. I play
do
music.
He plays the music, I trade the stocks. Our real job is coming out here and freestyling now.
Okay, just spell your names for me. Tell me your name.
I'm Ted Oberhaus, Oberhaus.
And I'm Bob Frizz Coleman. Even my mom calls me Frizz if she's in a good mood. And Coleman is Coleman.
Great.
And Frizz is F-R-I-Z.
Yeah, no S.
Okay, first of all, just tell me a little bit about this event and what it is, what was going on.
Well, this was the grand return of flying disc freestyle sports competitively to Central Park. There has not been a competitive freestyle flying disc tournament in New York in many, many years. And so it was a great success in that we got a nice crowd turnout, and we had players come from literally all over the United States for this event.
Okay. Tell me, what are you guys doing out there? What is it? What's going on?
Well, what we try and do in freestyle is to express creatively using the flying disc and the limitations of our mind, body, and the physics of the flying disc. We take all of these different tricks that we do and we combine them together in very distinctive, individualistic ways, very expressive ways, and we choreograph them to music. And the idea for many of us, of course, is to get out there and really push the limit in the sort of hot dog sports sense, and also to really turn the crowd on.
And how is that Frisbee spinning on your finger? How do you do that?
We actually have little plastic nails.
Hold on, sorry. Okay.
We actually have little plastic nails that we put on our fingers, and we spray silicone spray on the flying discs. And the combination of those two ingredients allow us to do a lot of those tricks to a much more difficult degree than we would otherwise be able to.
Okay, and what do you do? How much practice does it take? How much time do you spend doing this?
Well, I've been playing for 20 years, and most of the playing that I did happened when I was much younger, and then I retired for a number of years. So it's a different thing for me now, but in general, it's not an easy thing. It takes a tremendous amount of discipline, many, many thousands of hours of practice to get to the point where we can do what we do.
Just, can you spell your name?
My name is John Dwork, D-W-O-R-K. I'm originally from New York, and I'm the fellow who got the Bachelor of Arts degree in Flying Disc Studies.
How'd you do that?
I worked my butt off at Hampshire College in Amherst, Massachusetts.